We, beings in the past, created the karma to have a human existence like this. So essentially, we created ourselves. This is the easiest way, I think, to explain it. Through our karma. Through the choices that we made in the past, we created the causes for this universe, this world, this kind of form. Okay? And that's the same thing for animals, for cats and dogs and insects and everything. They created the karma to experience that kind of existence. And I know that that's not a really easy way to explain things. How old's your daughter?
She's 5 years old.
Yeah, not a really easy way to explain things to a 5-year-old. But basically, we created ourselves. We created ourselves through our karma.
We are in America, and we immigrate here as Vietnamese. Okay? So I see a lot of families here. They, they try to be secure financially. They think that the main goal is to be financially secure. That's why they get house and cars and so on. So the young people here, they think that the main goal is to have money and so on, so on. So the Buddha said that to be happy, you just need to have enough, right? In Vietnamese say tri túc. That means to realize that you have enough, and then to be satisfied with it. But the young people of our community, they don't see it that way, especially when they've been born and educated here. They go, out and try to make the best. And now we see that the Dow Jones is down and so on. So it's part of the changing, But they are ignorant of it. So they get very frustrated. So how can we explain to them that happiness does not mean the materialistic abundance, or being happy of what you get, what you can go and shop and buy and have your house full of gadgets and so on. Because when they go into a house, they judge the house by what type of gadget they have. You have a plasma TV, something like that. You have a big car, a big brand name car or something like that. They go by that. They judge that. For them, success is based on, materialistic, being on the top. And how can we, the old generation, because we come from Vietnam and we are poor, and now we are happy with whatever we have. We don't strive to be, millionaire or billionaire. But the young people, they are different. Okay. So how can we explain it? Because when we explain, they say, oh, you are parents, grandparents, you are outdated. We are young, we go for it. And I just want to point out that China has the same thing. Now the China society is polarized. There are very rich people, billionaire, and very poor people. And that creates a schism, a struggle. In our community, there is that too. And I see that with the economic situation now, it's getting out of hand. It can get out of hand, So how can we as a Buddhist try to explain to the young people to step back and try to learn Buddhist way and try to recognize that they're ignorant and try to face the reality of samsara and so on. Thank you.
Well, it's not easy, because even within ourselves, we've come to the Dharma because we suspect at least that something's not right with how we're approaching the world, right? We feel it, even if we can't always explain it. But everyone sitting in this room, myself included, we still have attachment. I was coming back from that temple in Anaheim today, and I was really sleepy, and I started thinking, oh, Dr. Pepper would be so nice. Caffeine, sugar and caffeine. What did I do? I stopped at McDonald's, and I got a Dr. Pepper. So, and it was nice, but I recognized that it was just temporary happiness. So I think the thing, first what we need to do, to be of benefit to others, this is really what you're asking. How can we show others the benefit of the Dharma? The first thing that we need to do is work on our own minds. Go home today and look in your closets and look at all the junk that you thought was going to be so fantastic that when you bought it, you smiled when you're walking out of the mall, you got your bag full of new shoes or electronics or whatever it is. Look in your closets and look at all the junk that you forgot you had and get rid of it. Seriously, go home today, look at wherever you've got things stored, get all that stuff that you don't use, you don't really need, maybe you forgot you had it, and give it away, get rid of it, do whatever. Have a yard sale. Take that money, donate it to the Dharma, donate it to a hospital, animal shelter, something like that. It's a much better use of all that stuff. Get rid of it. So demonstrate your own understanding of this teaching. You'll feel better, and then people around you start to see. For me, it's a little bit easier because I'm in these monk's robes. I remember not long after I was first ordained, I had to go grocery shopping one day. So, of course, a lot of people were kind of looking, what's the guy? Because I was in the Tibetan robes, right? So they're pushing their carts and they'd kind of like, who's the guy in the red dress? What's that about, you know? But then there was this woman who turned the corner. Young, blonde hair, blue eyes, you know, maybe 30-something, successful. You could tell by the way she dressed. She had a good job and everything. She turned the corner and she stopped when she saw me, and I could tell she was exhausted. She was tired and not real happy. She stopped her cart and she just looked at me and went. So for me, kind of showing the teaching, I'm a walking billboard for the Dharma. I'm a walking advertisement for the Dharma. For me, it's a little bit easier, just wearing these robes. But demonstrate to the people around you, through your own behavior, the benefit of the Dharma. That's the first thing that we can do. And then maybe ask the same question of your maybe younger relatives or other relatives, maybe not younger relatives, you know, same age as you, who are still attached to this idea that if I can just get enough stuff, a big enough bank account, then I'll be happy. Maybe ask them to do the same thing. Look in your closet at all that stuff you thought was going to make you happy. And ask yourself if it really worked. That car that you just had to put $2,000 into, when you first bought it, it was nice and shiny. You couldn't wash it enough. I'm leasing a car now. My other car, my used car, broke down. So instead of throwing more money into it, I leased a car. And then a couple of weeks ago, I was at the university, and I was trying to go to circle around. And so I went down this narrow road that curves around, but someone parked at the end of it, and I couldn't get out, so I had to back up. I'm not very good at backing up. So as I'm backing up, the part of the front bumper that's like curves over the tire got caught on a brick planter. And I just hit the gas a little bit, and then I heard this crunch, and it started to pull it off. And I thought, oh. Right? So all those things that we thought were going to make us happy, did it really work? Maybe ask those questions. Yes? Maybe you could.
Idea about what she just asked you,
Mm-hmm.
how to let the young people realize that. One of the way I demonstrate, one of my demonstration to my son is I always teach him. There is a Vietnamese saying say that if you look up, you realize you are nobody. But if you look down, you feel you are much better than many people. Nhìn lên không bằng ai, nhìn xuống dưới mình không ai bằng mình. That's how I teach my son. So I told him that, and in addition to that, I told him that everything has a price you have to pay. You don't look at the person who drives a Mercedes or Ferrari, and say, oh, I wish to have that. There is a price for that. It's like promotion to like president or senator. They have to pay a price. I remember when I see Hillary Clinton ran the presidential campaign last year in 2008, I feel so tired for her. She looked so tired from the beginning until the end. She looked tired and tired and tired. So we can tell how much price she has to pay. And there's no guarantee that you can win that. Right? There's no guarantee because only one seat, president only one seat, but a lot of people run after that. So everything has a price we have to pay. So what we do is we have to be happy of what we are having first and go with the flow. What is yours is yours. You don't have to do everything like step over people to get it. It just create more dharma or something we say. Yeah, karma. Yeah. So we just every day, 24 hours a day, we have to live good for 24 hours in that day. Yes, that's 24 hours. Try to do everything good in that 24 hours. And then as a parents, we should lead by example, a good example. Like me, I don't want my son to use credit card. So I have to lead by example. I don't use credit card. Yeah. So I only allow him to have a ATM card. And that's why the budget, he has to control his cash liquid flow. Everything has to be under control. No credit card. So I myself, I have to discipline. In order to discipline my son, I have to lead by example first. It's like with my salary, I can get a good car. But to lead an example, I just try a very ordinary car. So my son, if I tell him not to buy a good car, I have a good reason. He has to obey me because I'm not driving an expensive car either.
We don't want to have to say, do what I say, not what I do. Right? We don't want to have to say that. Yeah, so right, start with an example. So live the way that you want your friends and relatives to live.
Yeah, that's how I teach my son.
Yes, that's very good. That's very good. But of course, some people don't have enough. You can't think about Dharma if you're hungry all the time and you don't have a place to live. If you're in constant fear of, where am I going to get my next meal from? You can't really think about Dharma. So we need to work to put food on the table and a roof over our heads and everything. We need some stuff. But there's this point where our possessions begin to own us. But start with your own closets. This is my challenge to everyone. I'm going to do this too. I've got some things up there, I bet. I bet if I look, I've got some containers of some stuff. I bet if I look in there, there's something I can find to get rid of, to pass on to another monk or nun or something. So this is my challenge to everyone. Okay. Any other questions? All right, then let's get ready for meditation.